Hi, this is Chris Lele, one of the test prep experts at Magoosh. Today I wanted to talk about the impact of COVID-19 upon the GMAT application, as well as COVID-19 more broadly, the impact on society, as well as how it might impact or affect the business application process. So let's start there. Currently, many are wondering, is now a good time to go back to grad school, specifically to business school? That's usually what people say when there is a recession, and currently we are in the midst of a recession. What I want to highlight here is that this recession is unlike any other we have experienced in the modern era, and we want to be careful not to jump to quick conclusions about whether something as monumental as taking your GMAT and going back to business school is something that you should do. So again, there's a lot of uncertainty. It might be a good time. It might not be a good time. It's really hard to say. One way of looking at it, though, is if you've always thought about going to business school and now you suddenly find yourself having a lot of time on your hands, well, prepping for the GMAT makes a lot of sense if you, again, have had a thought of going to business school before. Now, if you've never thought about it and you've just heard, hey, this is a good idea, that doesn't mean prepping for the GMAT right now is a bad idea. But again, it's hard to say whether this recession that's been caused by the COVID-19 is actually going to make things easier or harder for you, and answer that question, is now a good time to go back to grad school. The other thing I wanted to talk about was more specific to the GMAT application process itself, especially for those who have already prepped and you're ready to go, or you're ready to apply to a school. Now what? Well, first off, in terms of prepping, there is a GMAT online option that will be offered mid-April. Again, a lot of uncertainty in the air. This is the plan. Hopefully things will work out. So know that you can still sign up for the GMAT. It will be online. It will be from home. There's a whole different ecosystem around this in terms of how you should go about doing this. But GMAT, the people who make the GMAT, have figured out how to do this. So fingers crossed, everything will go according to plan. And mid-April, you'll be able to take the GMAT from home. Now, in terms of the application process, if you've already applied, some schools have said that they are going to extend round 3. And round 3 is typically the last of the 3 rounds. You have round 1, round 2, and then round 3 is the most competitive because that's the final round they're selecting students from. So what some schools have done is they've extended round 3. They've even offered some deferrals for folks, meaning that there's more space for you to apply now because perhaps those other folks are going to defer indefinitely. Again, lots of uncertainty, but it's good to know that round 3 has been extended. In fact, some schools are even coming up with a special or specific round 4. Again, I don't know everything and no school is going to be the same. So my advice is if you're unsure, reach out to the school or schools that you're interested in for more details. Finally, everyone take care and make sure to take all the precautions to keep yourself healthy, and best of luck in your GMAT aspirations.